Kirk's friends that just gave tributes. And you'll see that I didn't have to embellish anything, as Michael said. You could just tell the truth, and that's the same. Is it on? Wayne Kirk Quee Kirk was born on January 19, 1965 in Mandeville to parents Lloyd, Roy, and Carmen, older sister Dawn, and an immediately doting slew of relatives. In a long-standing family joke, his uncle Lindbergh was teasingly asked how he seemed to love Kirk more than his own child. Forgive us, Bobsy, I know you're listening. His answer was, after I have Quee Kirk now, I must love him. His name was an early source of contention, as Carmen sent him to be registered as Kirkway for the sound and flow of the names, while the ever-practical Roy said he didn't see what difference it made. Considering the popularity of the name Wayne among Roy's siblings, I was later to come up with the idea that it might have had something to do with movie star John Wayne and the legacy of the signature Chinnaman love of movies by patriarch George Chinnaman. A happy child, most of his later personality showed from early. You will agree with me and see for yourself as I continue. My mother said he walked late, but didn't make the customary 1 or 2 steps and fall, but strode across the room like he had been walking from birth. Throughout his life, for better or worse, he had an aversion to even small failures and would prefer to go over things in his mind over and over again before trying. His lifelong love for music started early too, as the story is told that he would make music with kitchen instruments, spinning the pop covers like a 45 or an LP and dancing to the sounds he made. So did his love for TV and movies show early too, traumatizing his parents by trying to act out the more dangerous feats of Superman and Tarzan, like putting on a cape to jump off buildings or walking through fire. While his playmates and fellow actors would call for their stunt double, Kirk, like Tom Cruise, would insist on doing his own stunts. As he grew older, he became more sophisticated at his stunt attempts, recruiting not only his younger siblings and cousins, but even classmates at Villa Road all age. He was a born mentor and didn't do much without bringing his friends along with him. Using his expertise from watching endless Kung Fu Saturday matinees at his uncle's Tudor movie theater, he was able to coach our younger brother Greg, age about 6, to a credible imitation of a Kung Fu expert. Greg and I had to learn to split, as did all our neighbors of his age and younger, and my cousin Donovan. Donovan retained this skill throughout his life, and later used it to good effect, as he once executed such a high backward kick at a would-be robber in downtown Kingston that the man ran away, convinced he had accosted a black belt holder. Thanks to Kirk. Kirk obtained a scholarship to the school currently known as the Civic Pagan High School. His parents opted to send him closer to home at the West Indies College High School. Here he met with one of his favorite triumphs, which also led to one of his greatest disappointments. West Indies College had hired a football coach and decided to field a football team. He made the football team, but his future as a high school football team member was not to be, as the principal changed her mind and withdrew the team from the competition. As you have heard before this, how much he loved football, you can imagine how he never forgot that. High school was followed by a brief apprenticeship with an accountant, after which Kirk decided to join his mother in the world of self-employed businessman with uphill snacks. There is something about an established shop, as Christopher Cheddar can attest to, that attracts people seeking a listening ear, as his mother before him. Kirk found himself as an anchor for people of all ages and backgrounds. As a food seller, he was especially exposed to people at their most vulnerable. As a child, his mother would bemoan that he would almost bankrupt her by taking out the most expensive snacks. Nutriment was a particular favorite to feed all of his friends. As the owner of his own establishment, history repeated itself. I recall a trip to the police station to report damaged car documents. The young police officer who examined the vehicle recognized him and said, "You know how much our man in the school, Mr. Chin, feed? Your name Buddha Greenvale the elder." Although he didn't recognize this particular young man, children were particularly comfortable with him, and he would sit and chat, and they would sit and chat with him. This included his niece Brittany, who learned the word chatterbox at a very young age to describe her competitors for his attention. All around town, he would show me the children who were his former customers, and he was so proud of who they had become.